Are you struggling with calling in those soulmate clients and questioning, what is it that I'm doing wrong? What is it that I don't have? Why does it seem like everyone else is excelling in this area? I know I could relate to that for some time. And so today, what I want to do is I want to talk about the top 5 myths that we need to totally bust so that you can change your mind in order to change the success, meaning magnetize those dream clients right to you. Let's go. The first myth that I find that so many of my new clients struggle with is that they're trying to mirror and match what everyone else is doing online because it seems like we have to, right? We see that something works for this coach, and so we want to give it a try. We realize what the, algorithm is online, and we feel like we have to buy into it. But when you mirror and match what everyone else is doing, you actually lose your greatest asset, which is your authenticity. So what I challenge you to do is to consider a way that you can leverage it, because I want you to put yourself in your ideal client's shoes. If they're online and they're scrolling and they're looking for the type of coach that you are, how are they supposed to decipher between you and yet another coach if you guys are doing the exact same thing? You are presenting with the exact same thing. They need to know how to find you, and they need to know why they want to work with you. So I challenge you to experiment. Try something that feels really good for you and see how it lands. Experiment with showing more of who you are so that people know who you are behind the brand. When you're intentional about approaching your brand in that way, you in turn stand out instead of blend in and make it a no-brainer for your dream clients to be magnetized right to you. The second myth that I find so many people struggle with is they convince themselves that they have to lower their price to actually get people to want to work with them. When you convince yourself of this and allow yourself to normalize or believe it, you actually play this repetitive tune in your head that you're not worthy, that your services aren't worthy. And that couldn't be further from the truth. What's really happening for you is that you haven't really considered the ROI or the return on investment when people work with you. So in this situation, what I challenge you to consider is, what is the ROI? Meaning, when people invest with you, what is the outcome that they get? What is the value of that outcome? Why should they want to invest in you? Why is this so important? And how powerful is this investment truly worth? Let's say, for example, you're a fitness coach and you help people lose the last 10 pounds after having a baby. These are people that have been extremely unhappy. They change their clothes 3 times in a day. Maybe they buy, clothes that are too big or clothes that they're not happy in. It impacts their confidence at work, all of these things. But losing that last 10 pounds helps them to get a raise at work because they're more confident and they're showing up fully as their next level self. They're now saving time because they're not changing 4 or 5 times a day every single morning. They feel like they're able to be more intimate with their spouse. They can run after their children and feel engaged and have fun. What is the true value of something that powerful? When you really sit with all of the benefits that come from working with you, you're going to likely see that you probably should be charging even more than you've convinced yourself of it. The next myth that so many people run into is that you have to constantly be calling in new clients. And what this does is it puts you in a desperate and in turn repellent energy. Let me explain. When you're in this desperate energy and you're like, I got to get a new client, you almost settle to call in anyone, right? And then you end up with clients that aren't those dream or soulmate clients. The truth is, new clients are wonderful, but maintaining current clients is even more powerful. An existing client is always more profitable than a brand new client, okay? And being able to have that retention is extremely powerful. And actually, it's easier and cheaper to keep a current client than it is to call in a new client. I call this the quality over quantity thinking, because the truth is, you want to get quality clients versus quantity number of clients. When you retain current soulmate clients, you can take their transformation deeper. You can support them on a greater level. And it makes it a no-brainer for them to want to continue to work with you because they've probably already received such an amazing benefit from the work that you're currently doing. So taking it to that next level becomes a no-brainer. On the flip side, when you're just trying to get new clients endlessly, you're just bringing in a huge number of clients, but they may not always be of value. All in all, retention is an incredibly powerful profit lever. So you want to consider how you can leverage that. So consider, The work that you're doing and the clients that you already have, how can you serve them, the existing clients, even longer and take it to a next level or a deeper level? For me, inside my Elevate Method Coaching Certification Program, I started with just the prac level, where I supported people at becoming certified and really building those foundational pillars to build a profitable, sustainable, and impactful business. And then we take it to the master level, where you understand the entirety of the knowledge of the mind and how to create transformation that goes deeper, lasts longer, and happens faster. It's beautiful. And then I help to support them through the trainers level, where they learn to become trainers themselves and can certify other people in the same modalities that they've learned. I did this intentionally because the power and the transformations I saw happen in the practitioner level helped me to want to take my clients to the next level. And being able to do that helped me to draw in those soulmate clients. So I wasn't out here in that desperate energy, just trying to bring in any client. So I challenge you to consider how you can support your clients through the entire process and to maintain some of those most amazing clients and those most amazing connections and relationships. The next myth about having those soulmate clients is that you need a huge or big following. But I heard this once and it really stood out to me, is that you don't need a big following, you need a buying following. Let me explain. Just a few years ago, people were buying followers, where they would try to get their numbers up so that they looked like this high-level coach. But what ended up happening is that while they had a big number of followers, they didn't have a high number of conversions. What you truly need is you need to understand your ideal client. You need to nurture that ideal client, like through your social media content, your blogging content, podcast content, YouTube content, and the like. And then you need to work to bring those people to you. You could have 100 followers of people that are super loyal and wanting to buy and make more conversions than someone with 100,000 followers. It goes back to that concept that I talked about earlier. Quality over quantity. Numbers mean nothing if they're not valuable leads. Finally, the last myth about getting clients is that you have to create boatloads of content in order to be able to draw your dream clients right to you. This myth may be one of the most frustrating myths for me, because this is where people burn out before they even begin. But I don't want that for you. And this is why I want to talk about my favorite secret to creating content, which is repurposing. Just this morning, I took one YouTube video, I stripped it and turned it into a podcast. I stripped it and turned it into a blog post. I made it into 3 Pinterest videos. I made it into 2 Instagram reels. In addition, I then made it into 2 carousel posts and 1 static post. So literally created a ton of content from one piece of content. My clients call me the queen of repurposing because one of my top values in business is sustainability. And I don't want to be in a business where I work more than I work in a 9-to-5. That doesn't make sense. So if you've convinced yourself that you have to spend all of your time creating content and you're exhausted with that process, I want to invite you to join me in my workshop called Repurpose and Relax. And in this workshop, I teach you how to take content that you already have and repurpose it. In addition, I help you to create a repurposing process that you can recycle again and again and again so that relaxation can be your norm. You don't have to exhaust yourself creating fresh new content every single time. You can take what you have, leverage it, change it up just a little bit, and reuse it. And you'll be so surprised how that saves you so much time, energy, but it still magnetizes those soulmate clients right to you. As you can see, bringing in those soulmate clients to you doesn't have to be complicated. And I hate that we complicate a process that should actually be exciting, that should actually be fun. So what I challenge you to do now is I challenge you to consider the myths that we addressed today. And I want you to think about how they're playing out and showing up in your current process. And then, more importantly, I want you to consider how you can shift and change these so that you can become that standout coach that you know that you're called to be.